the question in the title is one I asked my friends almost 2 decades ago while we were in college. I mean, being in your early 20s, you're not thinking too far into the future. Most of the time, you're just looking forward to the weekends and blowing off some steam after a week of lectures, writing reports, and just being in school. Um, so, as we were just discussing this, we were probably thinking that we'd probably stop playing video games, maybe around 30 to 35 is when we'd stop playing. We figured we'd all have jobs by then, probably be married, probably have kids, and just more responsibilities and less time to be partaking in this hobby. And, honestly, at the time, being like 21, 22, however old I was, that seemed pretty reasonable. I mean, almost all the adults we knew, be it parents, aunts, uncles, friends' parents, professors, teachers, none of them played video games. It just wasn't something they did for a hobby. They went to bars, they played poker, they did all these other adult things. But at the same time, the boomer generation and the older Gen Xers, they didn't grow up with video games. It was something that came along when they were older, and it was mostly in arcades. I mean, our generation, the younger Gen Xers, older millennials, we were the ones that actually grew up with consoles in the house, and not just the small sprite-based ones like the Atari 2600 or the ColecoVisions. I'm talking about the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was more than just arcade ports. It was actual story-driven experiences. I mean, story-driven experiences, not like we have today, but there was still like an actual story to the game. And then later on, even more advanced systems like the Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo, those were still considered like kids' toys. Like there wasn't, it was a toy. That's how it was looked upon, at the very least in America. I'm not going to speak for Europe or Japan or anything like that, but in America, those were toys. However, there was a revolution on the horizon. With the arrival of the Sega Saturn and the Sony PlayStation, video games went from being something just for kids, and they started catering to an older audience. They were saying, hey, just because you've grown up a little and you're teenagers now, it doesn't mean you have to quit playing video games. The industry, for its credit, continued to evolve with those initial players. It went from, you had your simple like titles that kind of like kids and tweens, like your Marios and your Sonics, and then you got more adult titles, like you got your Resident Evils and Panzer Dragoons and things of that nature. And then the industry continued to evolve from there, and we've got some really fun, compelling stories that adults like myself really appreciate playing. So just to give you background, I think I've said this before on the channel, I'm 41. I'm about to be 42 actually, as of recording, exactly 2 weeks until I turn 42. And I'm obviously long past my 30s, or at least my 30 to 35 age. But I'm still playing video games. There are some like periods of time where I play video games more than I did when I was in high school. Like I'll get a chunk of time where not much is going on, and I just play video games. So while I was working out today, this is kind of where this video came about. The question did pop in my head. It's like, how much longer? How old is too old to play video games? But really, it's like, how much longer for me till I stop playing video games, kind of thing like that. Because there are spurts. Because over the holidays, I thought I was going to have a ton of time to play video games, and I really didn't. I had too many, had to go travel to see grandparents and do all fun stuff that took me away from video games. And as nice as it is to have the Nintendo Switch, I feel it would be very looked down upon by my in-laws and my relatives if I brought the Switch along when we were visiting for a day or two for Christmas and I was just playing Dragon Quest 3. So I didn't bring that. But it's one of those things like, when am I going to actually stop playing video games? When it's really going to drop off? Given that I have a 4-year-old and he's just now starting to get interested in video games, I don't think I'll be quitting playing anytime soon. As far as like just playing it, like playing, if you've seen on some of my streams, Bo will play my Ninja Turtles, the arcade game on the arcade, just off screen. And him and I will play some N64 games together and things like that. So it's kind of like I know I'll be playing video games for a good long while just because I'll be playing with him. Like, and much like I did with my teenager Sean, he's gonna get brought up on the N64, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, GameCube, Sega Genesis, things like that. He's gonna play old school games before he gets to graduate into the new modern, more expensive tech things. But I obviously pose this question to myself because I have gotten older. And I've been exposed to a lot of different people my age, whether it be at work, coaching sports, things like that. They don't play video games anymore, and it's kind of funny. Even though they played when they were younger, they consider it to be, a kid's toy, something for kids, kind of thing like that. But we're all different. We all have different hobbies. We have different habits. So I'm not judging anyone like that. So for me, I think where it comes to big AAA games, that kind of thing. I think after this generation of consoles over, I think I will probably have a pretty big dip because I think the PS5 Pro has kind of shown the future of console gaming to where I think those systems, we kind of got used to paying $500. It was like we were paying like 149 to 200, and then it got up to 300, 350, and now we're in the $500 range. But I think the PS5 Pro is an indication that $700 to $800 is what we're going to be paying for consoles. And I'm not paying that much for another console. I'm not going to buy another console for that much money, at least for myself. Like maybe down the road for Bowie, pick him up, the latest and greatest console if that's what he wants, kind of thing like that. So that could be a gift for him. But me personally, I'm not going to be paying that much. And this does not include the Nintendo Switch 2, which comes out later this year. I will be picking that up for myself, and if the Switch 1 is any indication, that system is going to lead me into my 50s playing video games. So I'll still be playing that. Still be playing Mario and Zelda long into my 50s. So like I said, I'll still be playing games, but it's like the dedication to playing games, like I have it as a form of entertainment. I mean, that could wane here and there because unlike, a movie or a TV show, most games these days are going to take up several days of playing. Like it's going to be, 20, 30, 40 plus hours to complete a game. So, you got to kind of hammer out the time. It's not like watching a movie where you can watch a movie in about 2 hours, boom, over and done with. Watch a football game, 3-4 hours, binge one of your favorite sitcoms for a couple hours, kind of thing like that. And like it takes dedication and time to the video games. And as you get older, you sometimes get lazier because the other night I had everyone gone to bed early and I was just up and I was like I could go stream, or I could just go play video games, but I was like, nah, I don't even want to do that. I think I'll just pour me a glass of bourbon and sit and watch a movie, which is what I did. So I mean, sometimes like you get that way with video games, but in the end, I don't think there is an age where you're too old for playing video games. I mean, we all have our favorite forms of entertainment and things we do for enjoyment. For some of us, it's sports, it's books, it's movies, it's music, or video games. Some of us, like me, it's kind of all the above. And video games they have not been a kid's toy for a long, long time now. It's been a legitimate form of entertainment, a billion-dollar form of entertainment, something that Hollywood really wants to replicate. So, I don't think, to answer the question that I posed at the beginning of the video, I don't think there's too old for playing video games. I think it's all in your own mindset and what you want to do. If you want to play video games and for how long you want to play the video games for, that is completely and utterly up to you, your decision. And really, don't let anybody judge you, because I do know some of my adult friends will kind of like snark or something when I mention a video game, or like coaching wise, when I'm talking to some of my younger players about a new video game, I'll get the side eye from some other coaches and other adults. Like, you still play video games? Like, of course I do. They're fun. So yeah. So let me know what you think in the comments below. As you've gotten older, has your video game playing increased? Has it decreased? Has it kind of like my video game journey over the years, ebbed and flowed? It's increased, but then it's shot down because of other things, and it's picked back up again. So let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep coming back. We try to do daily videos here. At least you're gonna get like 3 videos a week at the very least. Plus on that, we stream. So don't forget to check out my streams here on the YouTube channel and over at Twitch. Ultra Nintendad 64. I think it's Ultra _ Nintendad _ 64 over on the Twitch. And yeah, we have fun doing that. So you're never too old for playing video games. Take care. Bye.